Alright everybody, welcome back to Coding with Ken G. Now it's episode 6 and we're starting a task here which is kind of interesting. It's a little bit of a system going on here now because we are going to create a system called a formation creator. Let's open up our notepad here just to discuss what this is. The formation creator is a system that allows for placing actors onto the board and save those positions as a formation. This is going to come in handy later once we actually set up our game. And in my case, well, I'm creating the Hnefatafl here, but this system is also possible to use for other variations where you want to place actors in different formations than the game rules that I propose here. And so it's quite cool little level design system, and it's going to be a little bit involved. There are some components to make this happen, so it might stretch over an episode or two, but let's start somewhere. So our intent, when we press play, we are going to be able we're going to have a little UI on the left side here that is going to let us select different actor types. So either attacker prefab, defenders, or the king. And when we select one of those, we can place it onto the board by clicking a tile. And after that, we can save that formation. And this guy is going to be something that is called a scriptable object, which is a handy way to save persistent data in Unity. Alright, so let's just start somewhere and take it as we go. Right, so we need a few scripts to make this happen. First of all, yeah. We can make a script called actor. And this guy is going to be placed on all of our actors. So the attacker, the defender prefab, and the king prefab. So each one of those, you add the script actor component to them. There we go. And then we can create an empty in the game scene, position as 0, 0, 0 always. And this is going to be the formation creator. And in our scripts folder, we can create a script called formation creator. And we can slap this guy onto the formation creator object in the scene. Cool. And for now, we're just gonna do a little bit of we're gonna set this up this simple first, and then we're gonna build on it. So formation creator, to make this testable, for now I'm just gonna, in the public fields region, I'm gonna just assign ourselves an actor to spawn every time we click. Public actor actor prefab. This will be deleted afterwards, but it's just for testing purposes right now. And then we can also test our actual input from the camera controller as well. So actor prefab there. I'm not gonna tooltip it or anything because it's gonna be deleted. But in our mono behavior callbacks region here, we're gonna add in void on enable and void on disable. And we're gonna listen to the camera controller with capital letters on tile selected plus equals, and then the function that we are going to create here very soon. So we're just gonna write on tile selected, and we're going to desubscribe as well. Camera controller dot on tile selected minus equals on tile selected. And in our event handlers region, private void on tile selected, and this guy needs to take in a tile T. Okay, now we listen to input, and we are going to instantiate this prefab field here when we click. This is just for testing right now, but we're gonna build more on this soon. Right, so we can just write instantiate actor prefab at t.trans. Yeah, I just need to find the right overload here. Yeah, position and rotation. Actor prefab. We will position it at t.transform.position plus. Here's where we're gonna create a little offset. I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna create that as a field. So public vector3 spawn offset equals new vector3 0 and 0.1f on the y-axis, because we want our guy to be a little bit above the tile when we spawn it. And then 0. So when we spawn exactly at the center position of the tile, but we're adding a little bit on the y-axis. And for the rotation, we're gonna use actor prefab.transform.rotation. And that should be it. I think this should be testable very quickly. So let's go back into Unity. And in our formation creator in the hierarchy, we're gonna assign one of these prefabs on random. So the attacker prefab, for example. Let's just play the scene and see if we now, yeah, there we go. So now we can place these guys out into the scene. And what you will see here is that I can now create the actual formation from the game very quickly. We're gonna add functionality to delete if we did a mistake and stuff like that later. And it also doesn't handle certain things, like I can click on this tile many times, and there will be duplicate objects on that tile. So there is a little bit of setup to do here, but this is a start. So the thing is that we need to know if the tile we are clicking is occupied. And that is something that we're gonna see a lot in this game when we're checking for logic. Is that tile occupied or is it not? Is it empty? So this is a data thing that we need to have in the tile script. So here in the private fields, we can say private actor occupying actor. And the point is that this will be null if it is empty, and it will be assigned a reference to the actor's variable if it is occupying the tile. So then we're gonna create a few public functions here, because we're going to allow other scripts to set this data in this script. You might notice that I'm not using properties very much. It's just a preference. I actually learned to program through Java back in the days, and I just like to have these getters and setters in this way. It's just a personal preference. So we're just gonna create a getter and a setter for this. So we're gonna say public void set occupying actor. And then that is gonna take in an actor A, and it's wise to check if things are null. So if A is null, then we just get out of here. So return. I'm not gonna implement all these super duper safety measures all the time, but this is where you would want to put in your debug log statements. Here, if you are interested in doing that, you write debug.log error. Actor was null. That's not supposed to happen, probably. We'll see. I try to do this a little bit faster. If we are going to do this very, very, very clean, then we'd have to do this all the time. So occupying actor equals A. There we go. So that is assigned. And then we're going to have a getter. Public actor get occupying actor, and return occupying actor. And then we're going to have a helper function, which is public bool get is tile occupied. Often we want to just check via bools in the script itself, like is this tile occupied or not, and I don't want to handle that on the receiving end, so this is just a helper function to deal with that. So then we're going to return occupying actor equals null. If so, if that is true, then it's false. If it's not true, then it's true. So this is a shorthand statement. It would be the same as writing if occupying actor equals null, return false. So it's just a shorthand if statement. There we go. So our tile is now set up to handle setting an actor onto the tile. And that's where this comes in. So when in the formation creator, we're gonna update the actual game board when we instantiate an actor on it. So our board, I think, needs to be able to set one of the tiles. Yeah. Another handy data thing that we can have in the tile class is it's vector2 int, which is its own index in the tile array. Just like we saw with the names, that the position of the tile is like 0, 1. We want to store this in the tile as well, because it's helpful for us. So private fields, private vector to int my board array index. And we can have a few getters and setters for this. Public void set my board array index vector to int index. So my board array index equals index, and get public vector to int get board array index, return my board array index. There we go. And this needs to be set when we create the tile. So we're gonna do that now. In the board creator, in the create board function, we're gonna say t.set my board array index at x, z. So that's set yeah, sorry. We have to say new vector to int of x and z. Cool. So that's handled. Yeah, good. So once we instantiate, and we can test this right now. So once we instantiate it, we can then from the formation creator ask the board to set that tile as occupied. So let's create a public function in the board called public void set occupying actor on tile, and we take in vector to int index. My initial reaction is always to make these safety measures. For example, if index that is sent in is out of bounds, like you create an index that is, for example, a negative number, or it's beyond the bounds of the board. But for the tutorial purposes, to actually try to get through this, I'm not gonna do all the safety measures all the time. So we're gonna set the occupying actor on tile. So then we're gonna talk to a tile array. So tile array at position index.x index.y dot set occupying actor, and we need to also supplement that, so we as a parameter. So actor a set occupying actor, and the actor is the a. Okay, just a drink of water. Okay. So we can try to test this out. From the formation creator, after we instantiate, we need to save this guy as a variable. So we're gonna say actor a equals instantiate in front of instantiate. And after that, we're gonna write board dot instance. Remember that earlier we made something called a singleton. So we're gonna call this guy, and then we have access to its public functions. So board.instance dot set occupying actor on tile, and the index is the t dot get board array index, and the actor is the a here. Cool. Now you can check if this works, because when I press play in Unity here, I'm going to try to click the same tile more than once, and we can see if there are more than one model in the hierarchy on the left side. Yeah, of course. It did not work because I forgot to check if the tile is occupied. So we are not allowing to instantiate an actor on that tile if it is occupied. So before everything inside here, we're going to check if it is occupied. If t dot get is occupied, get is tile occupied. If it is occupied, I think we can just return here. Let's try to play again. See if there are more than one model in the hierarchy when I click here. So yeah, I'm clicking many times, but it's now working. So now we can only set out one tile, which is good. Yeah, cool. So that's a pretty good setup. Let's check our time. Yeah, I'm going to end the episode here because we got a lot of stuff done now, and for the next episode we're gonna customize this to be able to place out different actor types onto the board and save it later. So I'll see you in the next one.